Alright, cool. Why, hello. Let's start up the stream now. A totally regular, normal, nothing too crazy going on stream, but again, I'm playing the video game anyways, so I figured I would stream to help answer questions and such, especially over this free trial weekend. So, I don't think there's been anything crazy going on lately. I think we're just gonna chill and like kill mobs and stuff. It's early start of the stream, so people will probably file in a little bit later, and then we'll try to just answer questions and be open to the community to help with stuff. I spent this morning talking with some folks from the Discord. Arya, who is also playing in my server, was also helping out with some stuff because they were curious about some mechanics, so we had a whole bunch of mechanics discussions. It's crazy how much is hidden in this game that people just don't know about, and it's like everything is hidden from the game, just like as much as humanly possible. So we had some nice discussions about stuff. I shared a bunch of information that people were like, wow, I had no idea about, and oh, this explains this and that. And the thing is, there's so much information that I wish I could, like, I need to find some way to centralize it. So like I've been pushing the wiki a lot because I really want to see a wiki back in game, to actually use this button and get something useful instead of a dead page. At least then I could put a whole bunch of information about mechanics on something that's accessible, that Gamigo approves, that people can see from in-game without having to alt-tab, and they can learn from, and all sorts of stuff. Because, like, genuinely, if you understand the mechanics of the game, and, like, how to get extra damage, and how positioning is so important, and all sorts of stuff, I feel like the game becomes a lot more fun. And it's a lot more than just pushing buttons and trying to kill somebody instantly with Precision Strike or something. But now there's a whole lot more to it. That's more interesting, right? There's more fluidity with combat. There's more, positioning is really, really important. I mean, it is right now. That's my point. People don't realize that as much. But that's been pretty much always my point with streaming, is to kind of, show off the stuff, show why Arcade is so cool and unique, and hopefully the streams kind of do that. That's at least the goal. So I want to go and farm a little bit. I'm just gonna, chill on stream and talk to people and whatnot. Let me see where there's war. Oh, we can actually go to Eastern, but Western is about to be in war, so that still works. So we'll go over to Western front. Otherwise, it's a pretty chill stream. I don't really title the streams, but it would be called Chill Stream, if I could title it that way. We were just out walking around for like an hour, so now I'm just tired. I've had a lot of sun today. It's really, really warm, so let me take this guy out. Actually, I don't even need to level him anymore. But anyway, so my point is that I'm just tired, so I don't want to do anything crazy. PvP actually wears me out because there's so much to think about. I feel like once you know too much about the game, once you understand like so much of the mechanics, it is a lot more fun, absolutely. But you do become significantly more tired by playing, because now you are suddenly aware of so many different things, so many different mechanics, so much positioning is important. Combat awareness is awesome and also draining at the same time. But it's a really, really cool skill to have, and really important in Arcade. So I'll try to keep out of PvP for now. Again, I'm just chilling. That's sometimes the content for the stream, sometimes not. And so this time it'll probably be a little bit less. I'm just more answering questions this weekend and helping out the free trial people. So that is that. Let me kind of want to heal Arzog. I'll get rid of him. I need to level up the Elk, because he's almost done, and also the Miner. The drill bot mini miner. I'm only doing it because I want to get different achievements for level 55 pets. There's really no other purpose than that. It's not like I'm getting a title out of it. I've been doing a ton of title hunting, which is cool. I'm actually almost at stage 3, but just a little bit more to go. I have like a list of stuff that I need to accomplish to to get more titles, and I just kind of I take them. I sort of like do one whenever I can. I actually have some up right now on the side of my screen here to finish up all of these quests in the ocean, all of these kill quests for the ocean, and you actually get a title after you complete all of them. So that's like the next thing on my agenda to do. And then I have some other ones too that I have written down that I could, take care of over time. But right now I just I need to farm up more crates and purses. I need to just have a whole stock of them, because I ran out of mine. Plus I want to have, other ones. I want to have them for the Arc Pass reset today, reset, just in case I get coin purse opening ones. Which is... I mean, I already have a whole bunch, to be fair, so I'm already good for that. This is also going to be maybe like a couple hour stream, because again, I'm just kind of tired. I'm just here to share information with whoever's around and needs information at this time. So this will be a shorter stream than I've been doing lately. So as usual, like 2 hours in, a lot of people start filing in, and then actually, we start getting conversations all the time. And then, but this time I'm just going to leave then. Once it starts getting really busy, I'll be like, alright, I'm out. I'm going to go do other things. Or we'll see how it is. Maybe I'm in a good mood then, and we'll keep doing other stuff. Let me turn off some of these things. Oh, there's a person over there. It's a red. Just spamming Holy Bolt. Wait a minute. Are they just standing in place? They're not botting, right? Could they be botting? No, they just moved a little bit. I really doubt it. I guess I can go find out. It's gonna be hard to kill a healer for me. Oh, let's go try. Oh, they are just using Holy Bolt. Holy crap, they might actually be botting. What? They're actually botting! And I caught it on stream! That's, a little embarrassing, and if they don't, oh my god. Who is this person? Zendra from We Like Big Boobs. They were actually just botting. I can't believe it. And if they just stay there AFK the whole time, that'll be even more obvious if they don't respawn right now. I'm sure they're around their computer. They have to be. Should I make a report already? I have no idea what to do. We have a recording though, so... And they're still not respawned, so yeah, they're definitely not at their computer. Off with their heads. Hey Jira, it's good to see you again. That's, people cheat quite a bit when they really shouldn't be. And there's really no purpose. But I've already alerted the authorities. Actually, oh, yep, I have alerted the authorities. Cool. Anyways, very narc of me? Yeah, I know. I know. I do report people quite often, though. And to be fair, there's so many like gold sellers and bots that they're all over the place. Plus, that's probably why this person is level 39 ancestral. It's really, really, really annoying to get that. It's takes forever. It really does. But the people who do have it are almost definitely AFK farming, like what this person was doing and is doing, because you could see that they are still not respawned. But obviously, it's the most obvious thing. Let's just put it that way. And they're probably still clicking their button with the macro this entire time. But if I can't do it, nobody else should. Let's just put it that way. Right? If it's against TOS, and I'm not allowed to do it, then, you know, neither should anybody else. And to be fair, Jira, you and I come from a game where AFK farming is like, that's an actual feature. But not in this one. In this one, you have to be doing it all manually. Oh, has it been 5 minutes yet? After 5 minutes, they'll automatically respawn. Yeah, I'll just make a report after the stream. From the looks of it, I doubt anybody's going to do anything about it right now, since it's Sunday. Sunday and a 3-day weekend, true. But to be fair, GameAgo is a German company, so if anybody was going to handle it, they're probably from EU, and they might not have that 3-day weekend that we in the US do. So I can still make a ticket after this, and it might get handled tomorrow. I can't believe people still bot. Jeez, man. On an actual character, too. Somebody who actually... Oh, there we go. It's been 5 minutes. That's so weird. Why even risk it? I have no idea what that is, Jira. Is that some kind of a drug? I don't know things. I am completely unaware. It sounds more like a beer to me. Alright, are we almost done with this elk? Yeah, literally 99.89. Alright, next kill and this elk will be done, and I think that gives me one achievement. Let's see. Yes. Complete all level 50... It says level 50, level 55 is what it really is. But I did it! I got my Guild of the Star. Woo! I got one Guild of the Star. Done with the elks. Get out of here. Wait, does he have something equipped? No. Get out of here, elk. Let's start the next one. Elk is in... should I get these pangolins going? Wait, where's the third pangolin? Wait, I only have 2 pangolins? Oh, here it is. It's a weird order that it was in. Alright, this one is level 10. Oops. This one is level 10. And this one is level 10. Okay, yeah, so I should probably at least get one of these up to level 50, so that I at least have the abilities in case I ever need them. Let's start with the silver scale. No, let's start with the black scale. And the rest we'll put away. And... where's my miner bot? Here it is. Alright, cool. Nice. Auto sort. Anyway, so again, the whole point of the stream is just for anybody who's new, returning player to Archery. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. We have a free trial weekend going on right now, and while it's not the most amazing free trial because people are labor starved, it's still a good way to at least check out the game. If you want to check out the game in its full, anybody can still go and try to play the game on the legacy servers, the free-to-play servers, and then decide whether or not they want to start on Archery Unchained. But still, we've kind of seen a whole bunch of new players come in. I've walked actually, or not walked. I've ported over to the starting zone, at least the Nuian starting zone, quite a few times, and I have seen a few people that are just really really low levels running around killing stuff. I don't know if people are abusing it or not, but without a labor regeneration, it's kind of annoying to abuse making new characters like that. Plus, you'd be going over the 3-account policy, and I don't know how much they action for it, but it's probably not worth it for most people. But I've seen a few people running around, which is good. So this is actually, there is some reach to them putting out the free trial thing. It's just, I'm sure it's annoying to a lot of people because without a labor regeneration, like right off the bat, you can't really upgrade gear. So you're kind of stuck with the gear until you reach level 30, which is fine, because you can reach level 30 on just unupgraded gear. It's not that big of a deal. And then once you get to level 30, you've got the Arc Pass available, and from here you can gain some labor rechargers for, the ability to upgrade some of your gear, level up a bit further. So there's a way to make the free trial work a little bit as a tool to start out with. But it still takes a couple of hours to actually get to level 30 as you complete all the story stuff. But I don't think they could have done a free trial any other way unless they really somehow limited like the ability to trade, the ability to send mail, use the auction house, do the crafting board. It's like they'd have to limit so many things to make a free trial work with labor regen, which I just don't see them doing anytime soon. They'd have to ask so much from the actual developers from XL Games. But, it's also advertising what they're kind of doing with this free trial weekend, which is kind of the point. And plus, like, for Archery Unchained, literally $20 right now, it's on sale, and you get access to the base game without any DLCs. I guess we have to call it that now, since they've now started doing paid for expansions, They had the first one come out. Well, the first one will be coming out next month. But you still get the base game of an MMO for $20. I mean, this is pretty normal and standard for MMOs that are buy to play, where you have to pay for expansion content. Which is really good for Arcade, considering how much content there is. Alright, he needs to be level 52 to use the last ability, huh? And this is the one that matters. Grants defensive buffs to allies within 60 meters for 5 seconds. Alright, well, whatever. We're just, look here. We'll see if that person comes back. It's just the AFK farming one. Actually, what if I literally do just go to the next zone over and then I'll come back later? See if that person is AFK farming. Actually, I saw them AFK farming on stream the other day. I just didn't think to go check if they were AFK or not. But now it's the same person still doing it. Where's the shaman? Is there no shaman in this one? Oh, that sucks. Shaman is nice because it's a 2-star mob. Better drops from it, and it's still easy to kill. Wait a minute. Hold on. This thing has a 15-meter pounce that if the target is slowed, they're tripped? I didn't know that. Oh, it knocks it backwards. Trips for 2 seconds instead if it's slowed. Oh, wow. I had no idea. I want to see that in action. It's been a long time since I've even played around with the pangolin. What's this one do? Wind up and smash the ground to create an earthquake. Damages all enemies and decreases their move speed. So if you actually mix these two, you can trip a target. I see. Like that. Okay. Alright. It's not a big deal, really. I think most of the pangolin is used for, if anything, used for the last ability. But you don't see very much. Which is a shame. Again, you know, there's so many things that exist in this game that people can just, like, abuse in combat and combo with and all sorts, and people are just not aware as much about that stuff. I swear, man, if we just had a proper wiki, I can actually go and put all of the crazy secrets of Arcade that make the game more fun once you learn them, and put them all up there and let people learn on their own without having to bother people, and it would be amazing. It would be awesome. And then the game would be really cool. And people would understand why I love the Arcade combat so much. It's more than just about pushing one button and killing people. It's a lot more. People who are unaware of the gameplay mechanics will suffer a lot. Oh, there is a shaman here. It's right over there. But when you become aware of the mechanics and why things happen and all sorts, then the game starts to make a lot more sense, and you know, you really want to start learning more and understanding things and seeing what else there is that there is to learn. Because there really is an infinite amount of stuff. Oh, also, let me get rid of this blur at the top of the screen. We don't need that right now. Blur rate command, there we go. Ooh, does that actually blur those messages too? It doesn't. Nice. That's so good. The placement of that blur is really nice. I'm happy with it. I absolutely love using blurs in streams. Because people don't do that as often, and it's so elegant. It doesn't take away from the stream by having like a, you know, like a picture of a frog or something blocking up a portion of your chat. And instead, you know, you still get like full access to the screen with all the information and such. It's really, really good. And since I'm running in 4K, all my icons are much smaller, and you know, again, it clears up the screen a little bit to be able to see what's going on, which is really nice for combat videos and all sorts of stuff. I like this setup. It's been really nice. Let's go see if that person is back. Nope. They might have found a different spot too. I'm not gonna babysit that spot just to see if they come back. I already have the video evidence. I did them in the wrong order. I should have done Shadow Step, Impale, Sinister Strike instead of Shadow Step, Sinister Strike, which was totally unnecessary because I'm already behind them. And then Impale. I have to start getting used to triggering combos even though I don't need to for like PvE, because it's still good practice. PvE is really, really good practice for understanding combos and to get used to hotkeys and stuff. And I should be doing that right now, even if it would take up extra mana to use something like, you know, Hellspear. I should be doing it anyways. And like getting behind my target and making sure that I'm maximizing damage, all of that stuff would be really good if I just keep practicing it, even right now with you know, just doing PvE. So like this person is snared. Oh, but he teleports anyways even though he's snared. I forgot. That's not normal. But anyways, when a target is snared, even though it's half the duration in PvP, if not even more, I can still get behind the target pretty easily, and I have to practice that. and get used to it. Or at least Shadow Step or Sinister Strike or something. But if I never want to, like, I always push Sinister Strike at the wrong time. I should be doing it only after Hellspear. And I don't. I don't do that as much as I should be. Just because it's so powerful. Oh, wait, there's actually 2 Shamans really close together. See, like right there. I should have waited a little bit before I used Sinister Strike. Because Sinister Strike resets the duration of an Impale up to 2 seconds. It doesn't actually do plus 2 seconds. Actually, maybe it does do plus 2 seconds. I don't think it does. I don't remember. I have to check. Let me kill one of these off. Okay, so bam. Yeah, it's not plus 2 seconds. It's it sets it to 2 seconds or resets it or something like that. Because if it was plus 2 seconds, it would have actually gone up to 5, which it didn't do at all. Because it starts at 3 and then adds 2, which is so technically. Probably should just submit something for them to change the description here. So it says increase the duration of increase the duration of impaled plus 2 seconds on impaled targets. But it should really say resets the duration of impale to 2 seconds on impaled targets, something like that. Which means that, you know, you want to time resets until like they're just about to run out. So like bam, and then wait. And then bam. Right, and now it actually makes sense. Actually, that time it did say 3 seconds. Maybe it does add 2. No, that can't be right. Okay, I have to mess around with this and know for sure now. It cannot add plus 2. I don't think so. It could. I mean, I can't say, I shouldn't say cannot, because it absolutely can. The mechanic exists to add to the duration of a buff or a debuff. But I just don't see that happening. So here we go. Yeah, like that time it didn't add plus 2. I think the only reason why it said 3 seconds was just because it resets it up to 3 seconds. Wait a minute. I think it just resets the duration of whatever was just happening. It doesn't set it to plus 2. Oh, this is so confusing. God, why do things have to be so confusing? Hold on. Yeah, that looks like it reset it to 3 seconds. What if I had a different impale? An impale that maybe lasted a second and a half? Let me see. Do I have any impales that last longer? Yes, I have Hellspear, which works for 5 seconds. Sorry, the other Hellspear. Flame Hellspear. This Flame Hellspear works for 5.0 seconds. Which is crazy, actually. I should be using this all the time. Okay, no, that time it just set it to 3 seconds. So maybe the... That's so confusing. Maybe the truth is that it just sets it to 3 seconds. So, like, none of this information of this description is true. It doesn't increase, it doesn't set it to 2. It's actually 3 seconds. We'll try it again and see. Hold on. So, this... What happens if I just do it right away? Oh, if I do it right away, it's like it extended the timer. This is really confusing. Maybe it is plus 2 seconds. I don't know. It's so hard to tell. I think it's plus 2 seconds, but it can't go over the maximum of what was just... Something like that. So, like... Okay, if I do a 5-second debuff, I don't think it can go above 5 seconds. Right? Yeah, it doesn't look like it goes above 5 seconds. It looks like it increases it plus 2, but only up to what the original debuff duration was. I think that's the correct description. So it's technically not an incorrect description. Increases duration. It's just there's a cap, but the capacity is whatever the original one was. And it doesn't reset the duration. So like if I do this, and I wait... Oh no, he actually got out of it! He teleported out of it! What a champ. My god. Best mob ever. I really need to be using this Hellspear though, it's so good. Should I start practicing with the Flame Hellspear? The Flame Hellspear is really good, especially because of Boneyard. However, I usually use Boneyard after Flame Hellspear. And because, you know, now that the person's trapped, I can go and catch them. So, yeah, maybe I shouldn't change it. Maybe I should be using regular Hellspear, just because I use it to catch people. If I had a 2-second delay, it would be a totally different purpose. Alright. So I'm gonna wait. Yeah, it does look like it just adds 2 up to a maximum. I'm gonna hover over it and see something. Alright, come on. Do your little teleport. There we go. Alright. Hover. Yeah, it's totally up to maximum. 100%. Okay, so it's only going up to whatever the maximum was of the actual original hit. Now, what's kind of interesting is this says it increases, prevents all actions for 5 seconds. If I take away this, 4.8. Okay, yes, that makes sense. So this is helping the duration, which is good, of Impale and Stun. Alright, and if I hover over it and it gets... Oh my god! Again, so good. These mobs know exactly how to get away from card control, obviously. They're becoming sentient. Alright. We got 10 seconds, we'll try this again. Ooh, you know what? Oh, I don't have the Celestar anymore, no! Damn it, the Celestar actually would cause Impale, but it would cause a 1.5 second Impale. That would have been a really good test with the with Sinister Strike, but we don't have that anymore. I could switch to Vitalism and have a 1.5 second Impale, but I don't want to right now. The other Impale I might have is from an Honor weapon, but I don't think I have any Honor weapons on me that do that right now. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I have that impales. Oh well. Okay, so. With this, hover. Just as it's about to... Yeah, it totally adds 2 seconds. Okay, cool. Alright, now I actually know how that works. So I could use it at any point in time as long as 2 seconds have already passed. That's actually awesome. And what I did learn from previous testing is that this plus 2 seconds is not affected by cooldown reductions. It's just plus 2 seconds, period, up to the maximum. So... God, what a powerful skill. Sinister Strike is actually really, really good. And now that I know exactly how to use it, I should be able to actually use it significantly more powerfully. Because I would always wait until it was just about to finish, when I didn't really need to. I didn't need to wait until Impale was just about to finish, I just needed to wait for 2 seconds to pass. And the bigger deal is that I have a different combo, which is more important, that if I use Summon Crows on an impaled target, their accuracy is reduced by 60%. For everything, all accuracies. This is still a really, really powerful combo. The problem is, I don't want my target to be impaled during this accuracy reduction. Because what's the point of reducing their accuracy by 60% if they're not even able to use any abilities, right? The whole point is I want them to use abilities during that accuracy reduction. I want them to miss and put a bunch of stuff on cooldown. So timing this to be right at the end of an impale is really important. So knowing exactly what Sinister Strike does with increasing the duration of an impale is really, really important to know the limits of that and to be able to time it better in combat. Hey, Matt. I'm doing a whole bunch of random stuff on stream just to test things, I guess. Reading descriptions and such. Again, really, really important to read stuff in this game. Super undervalued, this whole reading thing. But because of how specific some stuff is, you really have to understand combat fully. And otherwise, I'm just chilling. I'm really just here to answer questions. So again, if there's anybody lurking in chat, if you guys have any questions about Arcade, please feel free to ask. There's no such thing as a noob question when it comes to anything here. Arcade is extremely complicated, as I've just been proving over the last little while. Literally anything in the universe is complicated, so, but it's an amazing game for that. So please feel free to ask stuff, and, you know, I'll do my best to help out with things. Plus, there's a free trial weekend, so I assume there's a lot of people who are just, you know, new to the game or trying to learn something. The shaman's back. I'm so glad that I know how this works now. This is really cool. I'm actually much less stressed about timing Sinister Strike then, because the timing for it is good. I'm actually much happier about it now. It's much easier to make that work. What XP is my miner at? Okay, getting there. I think that's the last one too. Or no, I don't think so. I think there's one more mini miner that I have to level up after to get that achievement. Ooh, but I get the roll now for the pangolin. Increases rider's defense and magic defense plus 5,000, and immune to fear and slow. I actually forgot about that. Look at that. 5,000 defense, but because of the curve, it only gives me actually 10% damage mitigation. From 5,000 defense. 10,000 physical and magic defense is 55%. But 15,000 is 65%. It rounds off so much when you get to the really, really high values. But again, it's really important to have high values because of the defense penetration builds. People who are literally there to completely blow through all of your defenses. So the higher you have, you know, the less those defense penetrations builds will be able to actually do something to. Matt, if in Unchained, if you buy the game, then you haven't to pay the next, right? Yeah, they're doing expansions now, so you have to pay for specific content from the expansions. In this particular case, yeah, you get like the full base game if you buy it, and then I think it's $15 to get access to the garden, which you won't even need for a long time anyways. So if you're new to the game, honestly, the base game itself is absolutely worth it. The garden is just one thing. And it's not a requirement at all. It's just extra content and story and zones and PvP and cross-server stuff and world bosses. I mean, it's stuff, but you don't necessarily need it, right? 90% of the game is not in the garden anyways. But they are charging now for expansions, similar to what other MMOs do. Which I'm not against if they really need money. It's just not what they had originally advertised. But, I mean, they've said that, yeah, you know, they tried to give us a game that we all asked for and begged for, and we still have it, but it wasn't as monetary. It wasn't as monetary. Like, it wasn't as valuable as they could make. Like, they weren't making as much as they were hoping, just from cosmetics alone. Which is fine. At least they admit there was an issue. Hopefully they're still experimenting with other ways to make money from cosmetics that is actually good and people will actually, you know, do them. And then if they do start making money that way, then maybe they won't be charging for expansions as much. That would be nice. I've put in my suggestions for that as well. Ways to kind of entice people to spend money and in a very positive way. Oh my god, I really need to just go to jail. I do not want to be on trial anymore. I need to kill someone. Because I'm tired of all this spam. I don't need to go to trial anymore. I got my 100 done. I got my image items. Everything's out of the way there. I don't need to go to trial ever again. Anyways, hopefully that answered your question, Matt. I don't know if it did or not. How do you actually get aggro from me? What? Alright, 3 more levels and this guy gets his last ability. I haven't seen it in a long time. I want to see how much that the defense is. If I remember correctly, it gives 5% damage reduction for 5 seconds to everybody around. Which isn't that bad, actually, at the start of a battle, to run in and do that for 5 seconds before getting off your mount and killing people or whatever. I wonder if it stacks. Oh my god, could you imagine if it stacked? Ooh, the potential. I doubt it stacks, though. I'm sure that it works similar to Protective Wings. Although, technically, you can stack Protective Wings, just it has to be a specific variant type. Matt, Darden is DLC or a pass you have to pay monthly? No, there's no monthly payment stuff for Unchained. For the Unchained version, the Garden is just a DLC one-time pay, and then you get access to it. When it gets released, I guess the idea is they'll do something like they'll give you an item that you right-click, and then bam, now you have access to the Garden forever on that character. Or maybe on that account. I don't know how that works. I think it's per character. But you really only need to go into the Garden anyways in one character. I doubt anybody will ever need to on their ults. Unless you really want to, for some reason, get stuff out of there, but that seems unlikely to me. The only, like, there's really no monthly things in Unchained. There's the Legacy version, which is free to play. That one has a monthly subscription, and you don't have to pay to access the Garden, because that's the free-to-play version. That's the old version. But I really do recommend the buy-to-play version. The buy-to-play version is a lot better, a lot more recent. There is a fresh start server coming out for it, although access to that requires a much higher, like a gold or arcane package. I don't know, it's really confusing. But I can explain it more if you need. But in general, the arcade, like, Unchained version is so much better. Like, there's no stress to this version. I can go and take a break from the game, and I don't need to keep up, you know, I don't have to pay $10 monthly or whatever just to keep my, my housing in place, like I would have to with Legacy. So, like, oh god, it's so great. But yeah, if you've tried the free trial, I do recommend it. Like, even just 20 bucks just to play the game whenever you have time. Don't do it, you know, don't stress about it. You know, join a guild, hang out, make friends, do whatever you want. It's totally worth it for this, for how much scale there is to Arcade. Obviously, I mean, I've played it for 6 years, so. And I play as a solo player myself. I don't really do too many guild things. I just have friends all over the place. If you have any other questions, though, like about the game or anything, please feel free to reach out. Arcade is a very, very complicated game. It is designed that way. It is meant to be complicated. You have to read everything. You have to, you know, test things for yourself and learn for yourself. But that said, people are very nice. Content creators, myself included, we're all very nice. You know, if you have any questions or you're trying to learn something, please reach out and ask. Ask in Nation Chat, ask to your guild, ask to somebody like me, because there's so many complicated things. You know, it's better sometimes just to ask and get, you know, and understand than it is to make a mistake or something. And YouTube is your friend as well. YouTube has a lot of more recent videos that have come out to try to help people learn stuff or find things. Alright, level 49. Almost there. Your problem is you're looking for a good guild to start and build a good gear for PvP. Yeah, it's going to take time for that for sure. Probably like a month or two for the PvP, like to be able to contribute. I would still look into other builds while you're working on your gear for PvP. Level up some other builds just to help out from the backlines. For example, I use Eidolon as just a build to help. So I have the gear for PvP, but nobody plays these kind of builds because everybody wants to be DPS or a healer or whatever. But there are still ways you can play without gear that help massively in combat. So like I play this one, for example. I use Aromancy to help defend my team. I use Witchcraft to help stop the enemy team. I use Shadowplay to help shut down tanks and other people and cause problems for the enemy, or help boost damage on a target. You know, playing these kind of builds, you don't need gear for it, but it's a great way to go into PvP from the back lines where you'll survive a lot more and still be able to contribute a lot while you're learning the game. I really do recommend, you know, you can mix in Songcraft if you want a Bard as well from the back lines to help out your team while charming the enemy. There's so many ways to play, and people kind of forget that these builds exist, but they're so important. So I do recommend trying those kinds of builds. But yeah, finding a guild might be tough too, especially if there's a language barrier or something. But you know, you can go into the recruitment menu for guilds and see who's there. Try out different ones. You know, talk to people, PM people, see what guilds are about. Hopefully, you'll find the right one for you, and if not, you know, you'll try a different one and, you know, leave the current one, go to another one. How long does it take to get from level 1 to 55? Oh gosh, 2 days? It's really, really easy. It's so easy to get to the end game. Like, the whole point of this game is, okay, 1 through 55 is a tutorial, pretty much, and then 1 through 55 you do whatever you want. Now, there's ancestral levels after 55. What those are is they give you extra stats, like really, really minor stats, as well as giving you access to different variants of skills. For example, here's 2 different variants of Charged Bolt, which you get access to over time as you level up ancestral abilities. Ancestral is after you reach the level cap, you now have 55 more levels on top of it that give you extra stats. No one has ever reached 55 in the world yet. I think the highest in the world is 41 maybe, because it's meant to be infinitely scalable. It's incredibly hard to get levels once you get to a certain point. But that's generally how the scaling works, is you get to 55 really, really quickly, especially with the help of a guild and friends, and then you do whatever you want, and, you know, the world is your oyster. After you've completed the story missions, do whatever you want. You know, the game is extremely open-ended and sandboxy in that sense, because there is a ton of things to do. A lot of the problem is because there's too much stuff to do, it can almost kind of overwhelm people, because there's so much. Like, what do you want to do first? So I do recommend kind of make a list for yourself of stuff that you want to actually achieve, and work on those over time, because there is really so much. And it could overwhelm anybody to be like, oh, but I want to do this, and I want to do that, and I want to get a fishing boat, and, you know, I want to get a galleon, and also this vehicle, and a car, and all these mounts and gliders and equipment, and I want to get a house, and there's a million things. So just keep in mind, you'll get to endgame quickly. What you do at that point is really up to you. Just don't let it stress you out. You know, work with a guild and just have fun and play the video game how you want to. Don't let people tell you what to do either, because otherwise it's not as fun. Also, okay, so I got level 50, so let me see exactly what this buff does. Okay, actually all that it does is increase physical and magic defense by 400. That's not that crazy. I thought it was something different. It's okay though. Have I tried other MMOs? What do I think of WoW? Yeah, dude, I mean, I've tried a whole bunch. I really do appreciate, like, just like, every MMO brings something really good to the table. Every MMO has something amazing. Final Fantasy XIV has amazing PvE content and a lot of social activities that are really awesome, and it's a very positive game. WoW I didn't play for as long. I didn't play with Final Fantasy either, to be fair. Like, Blade and Soul is amazing for the arena content. I played that for a little while. And while it has open world stuff, it's just not as interesting as the combat, to me at least, and I think to most people. WoW has a very interesting combat system, and rating system, and everything is like so competitive and really cool, and the PvP is interesting in the sense of, you know, the competitive-wise stuff. I didn't really play WoW for that long. It has a kind of a similar combat system to Archery in the way that skills kind of work, but less combo related. But, you know, for what WoW does, or for what Blade and Soul does, for what BDO does, for what Final Fantasy does, they all do really, really good things in, you know, in their own ways, is what I'm trying to say. So none of these games are bad, per se. I would never consider any game necessarily bad. They just bring different things to the table. Archery is very unique in the sense that it brings everything to the table. It brings as much to the table as humanly possible to make sure that you always have something to do or something to accomplish, or you know, people to talk to or whatever. And you know, it doesn't necessarily specialize in any one thing, whereas, like, you know, Final Fantasy is really good at PvE content and has tons of stuff for that sense. Archery just tries to dabble with everything, and it does a really good job at that, to be fair. What's really cool is because it dabbles so much into everything, you can mix mechanics together. For example, like, you can use boats to be transporting packs across not only the ocean, but, you know, just to get from one side of the continent to the other a little bit quicker. If you're doing a pack run from Sandeep up to Soulsreed or something like that, you can use a boat instead of just going on the land. You can use, like, you know, you can mix all the mechanics together and mess around with it that way, and it's really cool. I really enjoy that aspect of it. I'm not even sure if that was an answer to your question, but it's an answer, right? I think. Smiley face. Alright, I'll go with it. I don't know. I played games for a long time, so... I played games for a long time. I've worked on MMOs. I have a lot of experience in a lot of things, and so I like to kind of study different games and see how the underlying mechanics work and learn from that. So when I go and work on something myself, I can learn from past errors or good things that other games have made in order to make a really good quality product that's actually legitimately fun, you know? So I like to do that kind of thing. So, like, New World is going to come out. I don't think it's my style of game from what I've seen so far, but I may still go and try it for a couple months or something, just because I want to learn what's good about New World. What does it do well? You know, where does it shine in the content that it provides? Where does it not shine? You know, what could it do better? And then I would learn from that, and you know, use those experiences later in whatever else I'm doing in the future projects or whatever. Turn down volume a little bit. There we go. And again, if there's anybody just lurking in the background, if you guys have any questions at all about Archery, please feel free to ask. Again, this is a really good stream to do that on. Derek, where should I go to mine or chop wood? I want to start fishing and I don't know how. Those are like 3 different questions. So just to give a little bit of background, there's a lot of proficiencies in this game. Different ways you can make money, different trees you can go down in order to get access to specific crafting things. Mining ore is nice because if you get up to the very, very top proficiency for mining, there are different nodes you can get access to mine for other types of materials, and all sorts of stuff. If you get the highest access to logging, you'll get access to be able to craft woodlots, which are actually sets of trees together, which you can mine all at once. They're like bundles, essentially. Instead of having to plant each tree individually, you plant these bundles. If you get fishing all the way up, you can actually fish in different areas, and also fish in very unique ways and get access to that kind of content. So there's a ton of different things. Every single proficiency here has tons of stuff at the end game. So now that said, there's you know, like chopping wood, you can go and own a farm, yeah, and you don't have one yet, but you can go and own a plot of land and then just chop wood, right, and plant trees and try to do something there. And again, just chopping trees in itself, like, is complicated because there are specific trees that give specific stuff, and maybe at certain time intervals you want to go and check them. You can set up secret farms and hope that nobody finds them. because that's outside of your land, so nobody else, like everybody else would have access to them, but they could be as large as you want them to be, right? You can set up like little PvP areas, essentially, if anybody is trying to fight you over your secret farm. Everything in this game is complicated, alright? I'm just gonna put it out there. That's why I love it so much, because like you'll never stop learning in this game. And I think people who play the game for years and feel like they know everything usually know nothing. And I'm in that same boat. I know a lot about everything, sure, fine. I can admit that because I've played for a long time, but by no means do I know everything, and there's always something else to learn. And that's like the feels good thing about Arcade. Now, to answer your question, where do you go to mine? If you want to mine just randomly in different places, there are some really good spots. The spot that I know on the west is in Dewstone, and it's right here, an excavation site. There's a lot of different nodes there. To mine on the east, there exists places. Okay, you could probably YouTube this or Google it, actually. People have talked about different mining places. I think that's a better way to answer that. Trees you can actually find naturally all over the place. I'm in Aurora right now, so there aren't that many trees you can just chop down. But all over the continents, left, west and east, you'll find trees all over the place. If you just want to go around and chop specific ones, or you're looking for something specific. If you want to get into fishing, that's a little different. Usually you'll need a fishing boat. My suggestion is find a group to fish with, make friends, get a guild or something, go in nation chat. People might think you're an alt, actually, if you go into nation chat and say, hey, I'm looking for a fishing group, because people don't like spies from the east or something, or from the opposing faction that are trying to figure out where you're farming or fishing. But you can eventually find a group to fish with, and then you can use their boats and use your lures and everything in order to actually fish with them. Yeah, you haven't found anything online, sadly, about specific or simple to read. Yeah, I know, it's tough, man. It's a tough game. You'll learn non-stop all the time. And that's just what it is. But to get into fishing, there's a number of ways to do it. There's bait fishing, which actually might be worth it on Unchained right now. Bait fishing is where you use worm bait. Bait. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, you can grow worm bait through a vocation thing on your farm, or you can just buy it on the auction house. Worm bait. Bait. Yeah, bait worm. And you use this with a fishing rod in order to just fish, and you can actually AFK almost with it. You'll just go into a pool of water and fish there, using bait worms. There's sports fishing, where you have to actually, like, you grab a fish out of the water, and then you're fighting that fish in order to catch it. That's the one that's more common for money making. But both of these use labor, and your labor that you use for fishing gets put into your proficiency for fishing, and then as you level up your fishing rank, you get access to more things, fishing becomes a little bit easier, and so on. Yeah, everything is very vague online, I know, yeah, it's if you join a guild and ask very specific questions, that can help. I will do my best to help out with specific questions, and the same goes to anything that you guys say. So if you do have a specific question, let me know. The problem is, it's hard to know what to ask, and I get that. Like, you might be like, I want to get into fishing. I don't, like, where do you begin, right? It's very hard to ask a specific question. And I understand that fully. So that's why I'm trying to give you as much details as I can, just kind of in general, which can hopefully give you some follow-up things to ask, or at least give you some ideas. It is a lot, yeah, and I'm glad that you kind of see that. The game is meant to be that way. Like, you could be very... Oh god, I'm tired of these trials. I don't know, it's designed like that. It's meant to be like that. That you can spend a long time learning something and become very good at that one thing. And then you can share your knowledge with others, or you can keep it to yourself and make money off of it. Let me give you an example. There's a tree that I don't think people plant as much as they should be. Okay, people are planting it. It's rubber trees, okay, that's my point. They're actually not selling that much, which is a little bit surprising. But rubber trees can proc, in other words, they can sometimes randomly, when you cut them down, drop natural rubber, which is used in machining for making cars. This is a rare material, so it's worth a little more, but you're also randomly getting it from rubber trees, so you might not get anything useful from them. Plus, the rubber trees actually cost a ton of vocation, which you earn while doing things like farming. It actually, if you hover over it, it tells you how to get vocation badges through family quests, daily contracts, other quests, and so on. We've played a ton of Warframe, and it's also a lot. They're very different. Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, this game is very different than Warframe. I played that a little bit. I've always wanted to get more into Warframe, but I'm so invested in Arcade, and I enjoy it too much, so I've only dabbled with Warframe a bit. But yeah, Warframe is also complex in its own ways too, especially with the crafting system and the specific things and mods you can do with it, which is pretty cool. I really enjoy that. Arcade is different in the sense that there are so many different things you can do and understand, and so you're kind of able to, you know, it's more of a sandboxy thing, whereas it's more of a sandboxy thing, right? It's your open world, do whatever you want. Non-instanced housing means that your housing is actually vulnerable to people attacking you, especially if you're in a war zone. Oh, we're in peace now. It's a bummer. I'm going to get less loot drop then. Oh my god, Worm Online. Can we just talk about Worm Online for a second? Holy crap, that's an old game. One of the first big ol' sandbox games, which was, by the way, made by Notch, right? I believe Notch was actually a part of that project back in the day. It is a gem. It's an absolutely amazing, extremely old, survival-esque MMO, where people could actually go and build cities and stuff themselves. Yeah. And then Notch went and made Minecraft, which was like the same game but way more accessible, and has obviously taken off quite a bit. I think if Worm has other games, but what am I saying? There are other games that are like Worm Online now, right? And I can't name any here, because I'm tired. But there are other games that are like Worm Online at the moment, and that's all cool. But man, Worm really started that genre, which is really awesome. I miss that game. Yeah, none of that is the same. Yeah, there was quite a bit of a grind in Worm, just in general, too. God, what a game. I remember setting up huge cities and then getting kicked out of locations by other groups or tribes or whatever they were called. I don't even remember. It was like the ultimate other life. Everything you do and it takes forever and it's super rewarding. It is. I don't think it was as rewarding as... I think looking back it felt that way. But I personally didn't feel like it was as rewarding because of how some of the sieges worked and everything. But that's okay. I'm sure that over the years they changed or whatever. I played with a bigger group though, yeah. So it was we made content for ourselves, which was fun, of course. It was years ago. God, what is it, like 7, 10, 15 years ago? I don't even know what to say. You only got to play it a little, but it did a lot of farming and it was really happy. Yeah, exactly. Right, you just kind of do your own thing, which is really cool. Ark really took that genre. Ark Survival Evolved. They took that genre and really ran with it. I think Ark might have been one of the first games to do it. Now you see Rust and I don't know, other stuff. And Minecraft really took that genre as well, right? But yeah, so getting back to Arcade stuff. Arcade's really... Oh god, it's under the freaking map. I can't even loot it. If I had an auto loot thing, I would be able to, but I don't need that. Anything else I need to do before reset? I don't think so. What do I need to do? What do I want to do? I want to get Sea of Drowned Love done. Dream Ring. Oh, I might actually... Maybe I'll join these guys. Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's go do some really, really, really easy dungeons. Just because I want to try to get some good drops that I can sell. St. James, how do you get a Thunder Dash in Unchained? Yeah, absolutely. So, that's a good question. They've changed the system like 3 times, so it's absolutely a great question. To get it now, you have to get from the diligence shop. Let me check really quickly before I answer this. So there's earthenware. This is for the Crimson Lightning, which is this mount right here. This one. But to get the Thunder Dash... Oh, it's from the Honor Shop, isn't it? Gosh, where is it? Where do they put that thing? Oh, crap. You have to get a Storm Darter, but you have to craft the Storm Darter. That's the only way. And I think the Storm Darter... It's only from Marion. I'm going to go there to show. Why not? So you have to craft the Storm Darter. Okay. And then with the Storm Darter at level 55, if you take it out, you will see... Here, I'll show you. I'll just go over there and show you, alright? Crap, I also forgot that I'm queued up to a dungeon. Hold on. Everybody relax. Now I'm doing too many things at once, which is okay. I just have to chill. Make sure I do this correctly. Alright, so the Storm Darter is the way that you get a Thunder Dash, and you get it from Guildastars. So here is the Storm Darter soul. It's 350 Guildastars. You have to raise this thing on your property by feeding it these materials that it says here. I don't know if you can see it on your screen. Definitely not, because it's hidden. It's a bunch of regrade scrolls, sturdy ingots, prismatic diamond, and some onyx. It's actually not too bad to make, actually. Anyways, you craft this mount, you get it to level 55, then you summon it in front of the arena dude. I think in Marianople, it's any honor point collector. If you summon it in front of them, they'll be like, aha, I have a quest for you. You can upgrade that thing, actually, turns out. And in order to upgrade it, I think it's just like... I don't know what I don't know how many of it is, but it is some amount of honor forged metals, which are 2,000 honor each. I want to say it's 10, but I'm probably wrong. I think it's 20,000 honor, or 10 honor forged metals. But anyways, this quest is what he gives you, and then you give him those materials, and then I think you use an item on the Storm Darter, and then it changes it up to a Thunder Dash. It's not like it was in Legacy, although this is now the current way that it works in both Legacy and Unchained. So they have changed this quite a bit. It's like leveling up a Pokemon or something, right? And there's a whole quest involved in it. It's slightly more complicated than it needs to be, but so is everything. And then there's also the Crimson Lightning, which is a very similar thing, where you actually go to the Diligence shop, you get an Earthen Roar, you level that up to 55, and then somewhere else you have to talk to somebody and give him this thing, which is the Lightning Essence, for even more Diligence, and then upgrade your level 55 Earthen Roar into a Crimson Lightning, which I love. It's one of my favorite mounts in the game. Hey, we're actually queuing up now. Derek, could you possibly take me through a dungeon? Never done one. It depends on what dungeon. There's a lot of dungeons in this game that people actually run quite frequently because they want to actually make gold from them. If you are on the same server, which is North America Win, on West, then yeah, totally, we can go do something. If you're on a different server in North America, then the only thing we could do together are cross-server dungeons, similar to the one I'm doing right now. You're on West, North America as well, on Win, or on a different server? I don't know what server you're on. But if we are on different servers, there's still cross-server content that you can do with me or with other people. How do you check? When you log into the game, it should say, you know, which server your character is on. When you log in, it'll give you the big server list of everything. I don't think you can check while you're in the game. There's ways, I guess, you could check. Like right now, I'm inside of one of these teams, and I can see my own servers win.
Unit ready.
Thanks for following St. Ames. Yeah, log out and check. You can go back to character select and see. And then, actually, from character select, I think it even says at the server there, but you may have to go back from there and see the server select screen instead of the character select screen. Oh, you're in Tyrannos? Okay, so it is different servers then. But that's fine. See, I'm queued up with people in other servers at the moment. So there are some... there are arenas and things you could do with other people, cross-server. There is kind of a requirement for gear, I think. This one just requires level 50, I guess. But it's going to be hard to get into one of these groups. unless you know the leader, because otherwise, you know, somebody sees a low gear score, they're probably just going to end up kicking them, which is unfortunate. People do it. You know, because they don't want low gear scores to help out right now, because they're trying to get something done quickly. That's what happens. Yeah, I know, it does happen. You got 2,700. I think for now, yeah, your focus shouldn't be these... Wait, why did it fail? Your focus probably shouldn't be these instances. Right now, your focus would be just getting gear and doing the regular dungeons, the ones that you just go into yourself. These ones from the teleport book. These ones can help. Now, they're greater dungeons. The greater ones you're probably not going to be able to do right now unless you're with a group or with a guild. But they're a good way to make money, for sure. Especially even at the end game. Howling Abyss is pretty easy. What most people do with Howling Abyss specifically is they'll go in, they'll kill just the first boss and loot it. And then loot the thing that comes out of the little chest that spawns after you kill the first boss. They'll loot all of that, and then they will Evanstone to destroy equipment. They'll Evanstone the stuff they get just from that. Be careful not to Evanstone something you actually care about. And the reason is because that gives you quite an expensive material from Evanstoning an accessory, like an earring, called Starlight Arcane Crystals, which sell for 30 gold each. You can run that dungeon 5 times a day, at least. So that means you will be able to get at least 5 of these crystals, or 150 gold a day, right? At least, which is pretty good. And again, God, there's so many things in this game. I know it's complicated, all right? There's a million things. It's a complicated game. There's a lot to it. You'll never stop learning. St. Ames, your returner, by the way. Looks like you just come and chill again in Daily Age. Yeah, I don't really treat it like Daily Age. I haven't for a long time. I just do whatever I want. I compete perfectly fine. You don't have to do all the dailies in order to keep up and be competitive at all, period. And a lot of Raid versus Raid, I actually play a class that is, like, it doesn't require any gear at all, and it helps massively, more than any DPS would. Which I enjoy, because not many people play this class, so I'm able to make big use of this quite well. And I've taken a big, fond liking to Eidolon, but there's other ones too that are also similarly really powerful in Raid versus Raid. So I don't really treat Daily Age like everybody else does. I just chill and relax, because I plan to play this game for years. I'm not here to play, play for like 2 months and then leave like a lot of other people are, who are just being super competitive. And as other streamers have said, the game Arcade is not a sprint; it's a marathon. And a lot of people treat it like a sprint, especially in a fresh start or a new server. You'll need to do a bit of Daily Age just to keep up yourself, especially with the double event. Yeah, right now it's true. There is a double event right now. People want to get as much as they can out of it. I totally agree. And if you're prepared for that, it's fine. It's all right. With the raids that happen right after reset, people tend to get this stuff done very quickly. What is going on? Just gonna get into this dungeon. There is a double event right now going on for the rewards you get from Haram quests. And if you miss out on it, don't worry. It's not a big deal. You'll still get everything. The garden is going to be opening up. The garden itself has more ways to be able to catch up with gear, especially if you're working with other people together. Don't stress yourself out over stuff, all right? People stress themselves out all the time over Arcade, and that's the problem. I don't get it. People want to be, I want to be as competitive as possible, and I want to get in the rankings, and it's just... I wish this ranking of gear score didn't exist, because people would take this game way more calmly if they weren't trying to compete for some reason against these players. I don't know why people do. They feel like they need to. You don't. You don't at all. It's, do whatever you want. But people stress out over things like that, which is really unfortunate, but I see it all the time. Alright, come on. Just trying to get into the Sea of Drowned Love. One time. One time. Alright, well. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. What's this?
Unit ready.
Oh, thanks for following, Derek. Same goes for anybody that's just chilling, lurking in the background. Please feel free to ask questions, number one. And number two, I don't have any stream schedule right now. It's completely random. And because of that, you can follow the channel. You'll know whenever I go live. I also let people know on Twitter and on the Discord for the Arcade Research and Development Discord that I host whenever I go live, right? So there is some information out there. I mostly stream at the moment and have in the past to either do PvP and commentate while I do stuff, as well as just help people out mostly, because I know that this game is complicated, and I try to make it a little bit easier for people. Yeah, I'm pretty chill. I don't do, like, I'm a solo player. I do world boss content with friends in other guilds. I don't stream anything like trade runs. I don't even like trade runs personally. It's just, like, that's not content that I enjoy, right? But everybody does it, I get that. So I just kind of help people and chill. I do a lot of PvP, I do a lot of arenas, and just hang out with people. I don't take things seriously, because it's a video game, and if you start taking things seriously, then it's just stressful. Why did we not start this? What's going on? Okay, guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're good. Sometimes, come on, you killed. Okay. Anytime. Come on, Dahuda. Dahuda's illusion. Oh, and like, on top of everything that we've talked about so far, this game has an immense amount of lore. And while the game doesn't necessarily present you with how much lore there is quite nicely, there is an immense amount of lore. If that's something that interests you, there's a lot of different resources, some of that I've put out myself, for how to find out more. But the game is based on a novel originally, or a set of novels actually, that was, originally not meant to be a video game. And so, all that said, there's a lot of different things that this game offers outside of everything else. On top of it all, there's a whole bunch of lore to explore and read about in the books, and that you can get in game, and so on. And those novels are only available in Korean, so what this game offers is, as much as it possibly can from those original things. And yeah, as any Korean novel is, there's tons of, love triangles, there's tons of drama, there's tons of all sorts of things going on. The garden that's opening up is an absolutely immense part of the lore and the story kind of expanding and continuing, which is a really big deal for people that like that kind of stuff. Like me, because I do enjoy it, because it's quite crazy. If you want some more info... Oh, nice, I got it. Alright, it's 170 gold. Alright, come on. Do we not... I don't care about the rest. I kind of do, but I kind of don't care. Anyways. If you want to learn a lot more about it, I do have a link posted that I put out on Reddit. You can search GamePro03 on Reddit, look at my pinned posts, and I have kind of put together an article on a Google Sheet of like all sorts of different random stories that are kind of spread around through time on the forums and so forth. There's lots and lots of information there, but there's even more you can find all over the place. A few months ago, somebody made a really good 5-minute story of what Archery is about, and he did it in a really funny way. It doesn't go into the nitty-gritty bits of stuff, but it's generally a pretty good overview, and I enjoyed it, so that's on YouTube somewhere. Yeah, it's the actual garden. We've been waiting for 7 versions. Seriously. It is the actual garden. Oh man, it's happening. I know. I'm excited too. I really am. I'm getting pinged for things. What's going on? Guys. Yeah, I'm really excited for this. But anyway, so like on top of everything, there's an infinite amount of stuff that Archery offers, and lore is a really big part. I know that a lot of people are like, ew, RP, ew, lore, but unless I feel like a lot of the people who've played for years actually do enjoy the lore more than they necessarily tell people, because there is so much to it, and it's really cool. But the game doesn't necessarily tell you all the lore properly. And to be fair, a lot of the lore that you get from each individual race's storyline is all very good. But unless you play every single race, you're not going to kind of connect the dots together, right? Because you don't get each and every individual story. And so that's where, going onto YouTube and watching all the different cinematics from different races, that's where that comes in. That's where kind of researching different backgrounds, reading books in game, reading stuff online, all comes in handy. Oh, it's helped you with a ton of your own world building. Yeah, absolutely. If you're... Oh, I guess they don't want to do it anymore. Okay. Well, did it once. At least I got this chilled sea form that I can sell for 150. Probably 160, really. Oh, even 180. Okay. Let's put it up for 180, see if that sells. Why not? We'll give it a go. Yeah, if you're a GM and you just want to, you love reading stories and stuff or whatever with your group of friends and you want to create something for them, you can get some pretty good inspirational stuff from the way that Archery does it. Absolutely. Alright, what do we do now? What should I do? I'm trying to figure that out. I still haven't done Abyssal Library. I do need to do that at least once today. Looks like somebody from my server has a group. Are they looking for people? I think they're looking for a healer. It's fine if we're just doing the first 3 bosses. It's not a big deal. Oh, you're a very amateur writer? Ah. Well, there you go. It's still good to have, you know, background of all sorts of different stories. Absolutely. Good. Let me go sell off these things. By the way, there's a really good resource for this game. Okay, there's a billion good resources for this game. Some very specific ones that I will mention. Ooh, can I join this group? Or are they done? I want to do the 4th boss. Oh, this is the group that I went with yesterday. No, I could have actually gone with these guys. Damn. I kind of want to join this group, though. I want to do the 4th boss. I want to do the 4th boss. I'm going to leave team. They already have a, oh, 12? Okay, we're good. We just need one more DPS. I might get kicked. We'll see. Maybe they are done with it. Why did I get lead? I'll even do the staff for it. It's not a big deal. No, they are done. Oh well. Oh well. This one doesn't have a healer. Oh hey, Fuck Awesome's in there. And we're chilling. We got somebody else from the stream. Or that watches the stream. By the way, now, actually related to gameplay, do you recommend full gemming everything in all slots before upgrading? Yes, but don't let it stress you out. It is better, like you don't have to spend as much gold to do it that way. For example, even from like if you gem Explorer's gear before you upgrade it up to Haram, that's the best thing you could possibly do. Because that Explorer's gear to gem is so cheap. But if you like if you've already got it up to Haram, that's fine. You know, the lowest level of Haram should still be cheaper to upgrade or to gem than the higher tiers of Haram. But again, don't let it stress you out. It's just a thing that exists in this game. Oh, Fruck left. Damn it. Ah, Fruck. Oh, he's back. Hey. Is he in the chat? No idea. Don't let it stress you out. Like, I didn't do that. Yeah, I spent a little bit more gold to gem them later, but it's kind of up to you. But if you're really trying to save on gold, for sure, yes, that's absolutely what I would recommend. Do you have to do it? No, you'll just end up spending later, you know, a little bit more, which is not a terrible thing. You know, gold comes and goes in this game. You're going to be spending gold and getting gold all the time. It's everything else that's kind of... It's the time-locked currencies that are more valuable and more interesting and more important to think about. Time-locked currencies being, for example, event currencies, or... We're not getting a healer. Ah, whatever, I'm not going to do it. I'm tired. Time-locked currencies being like Diligence, for example, from the Arc Pass on Unchained, right? These are time-locked currencies. You can only get so many every so often, and if, you know, that makes them more valuable, essentially. and then you want to, you know, pick and choose very specifically, what do I want from this shop? What am I trying to get? Did I buy this for today? I did. You know, so you want to be careful with what you use diligence coins on and be very diligent about it, so to speak. Haha, pun. Yeah. But that's because it's time lock currencies. But gold comes and goes. You know, one day you're gonna get a bunch of gold for something. Maybe you got lucky. Other days you won't. And just don't let it stress you. Derek, you're gonna head out? Oh man, if you're still playing Pokemon Go, that's amazing, awesome, and I'm glad you do. What an active, amazing game. Love it. Go enjoy that. Have a good one, man. I won't be here in a couple hours. I'm actually gonna be done in like an hour maybe. So yeah, I'll catch you around. Oh, I just want to heal this thing. Heal the giant flying lizard. God, why is it so laggy? So laggy. Oh, I have my preview up. What am I doing? Turn off preview. That should actually help quite a bit. Not really. C.Day today. I heard about that. I've been seeing it all over Twitter. I'm still subscribed to all of those posts. Back when I used to play it a lot earlier. I don't play it. I haven't played it at all recently. Pokemon Go. But man, do I respect them for what they did. Yeah, go outside. Go enjoy the world. Go enjoy stuff. Take advantage of it, because like this quarantine sucks. It's actually been driving me nuts, more than I probably let on. Not being able to like go out and see friends and do other stuff, and not see family as much. They're giving out a ton of other stuff for like 1 gold every week. Wow, that's pretty good, yeah. I probably won't. I don't want to get into it. Like when I get back into Pokemon Go, you know, then I'll think about it. But I don't want to do it right now. I know it's probably worth it to go log in and get stuff, but I don't want to. I don't want to stress out over it. You know, I got other stuff on my mind. All right, yeah. You go. Have a good one. I'm playing arcades right now, anyways. I got to think about that and answer questions for it. Hey, Sully. Actual Sully from Win West, I'm assuming. How's it going? It's good to see you hanging out. Yeah, so again, for anybody just lurking in the background, if you guys have any questions about Arcade, this is a really good place to ask those questions and learn a little bit more about mechanics or anything else you guys are looking for.
Mission accomplished.
Myself and chat can all help you as well. Oh, thanks for subscribing, Derek. Appreciate that. And appreciate the support. 5 more, and then we can get a new emote. So it won't just be Cody, but now you have access to Cody yelling. You know, my girlfriend is the one who created that in the first place, so we're trying to figure out what a second emote would be with Cody, my bird. You're about to be Sully of Stena? Oh, you guys are gonna go hang out there? Alright, that's fair. I don't want to deal with all of that. I'm happy with my character. I want to keep working on my character, so mostly what I'm up to. And, gosh, what was I talking about? Yeah, so if anybody has any game-related questions, please feel free to ask. We have people in chat who are also able to answer questions and help out, like Sully, I'm sure. And we'd be more than happy to answer things, to help people, you know, steer people in the right direction. Sully's mentioning Stena server, which is a fresh start server that'll be coming out in who knows how long, probably around the time of the Garden release. Am I going to be rolling around in the upcoming fresh? No, I'm going to be sticking to Legacy Unchained. Let's just call it that. I'll be sticking to Legacy Unchained. I don't even like dealing with alts. I love working on one character and just sticking with it. It is really fun. On fresh start servers, it is really fun. The PvP is really awesome. I enjoy it a lot. I won't be doing it this time because I don't want to think about all that. I just want it, like, if that comes out around the time of the Garden, I will be nose deep in the Garden. I have plans for that. I'm gonna be just doing content there and hanging out and whatever. And so I'll be way too busy with that to even think about wanting to do a fresh start. But I absolutely respect that the fresh start will be a lot of fun. Absolutely. I already bought the Garden expansion DLC thing. It's $15. It's not really a big deal, thankfully for me. So I will be enjoying that. But it is, yeah, it's DLC content essentially to be able to enter the garden. And while it's not necessary to upgrade most gear, it is necessary to upgrade Hiram gear supposedly up to tier 5. We'll see what it actually ends up being. Hey, Codebreaker. There's no rumors or anything. For the Unchained, it is technically pay lock to get into the garden. The guild's 100% going to the garden, so staying on the regular server then, and just doing garden content, that's good. And if we're on the same server fighting each other, Codebreaker, you know, I'll see you on the battlefield then. I do wonder how often those servers rotate, though. Whether it's every week or what, I have no idea. Zushido, you've been playing Howler lately. Zushido, I feel like you've been around before. It's a very familiar name. Howler is Archery, Songcraft, and Aromancy. So it's an Archery-based build using Aromancy as a sort of defensive and catch-up speed mechanic. Yeah, absolutely. I've seen you around all the time. And Songcraft in order to kind of keep yourself buffed and get extra damage bonuses. Seems decent with mobility buffs and debuffs. Yep, so that's right. Any advice or thoughts? I think you just have to play it and see how it feels. As I usually say, if you're ever going to try out a new class, give it 3 weeks. And I know that's a long time, but 3 weeks is a perfect amount of time to try out a class, have enough time to actually read every specific skill to understand all the combos, try out different variants of gameplay styles, see what it's better for in PvP, see what it's better for in PvE, understand the strengths and weaknesses of this class. And if you actually enjoy it, that's the most important one. You'll actually know in 3 weeks, yes, I enjoy this class for these reasons, and this is when I want to use it, and so on. Are there better ways to play Archery? It depends on the situation, of course. If you want to maximize damage, you might want to put in Shadow Play, or you might want to actually put in Swiftblade for the defense penetration. There is an actual huge reason to do it. Zushido, you're saying that it'll work really well for ocean content. Absolutely it will, because you get the teleports out of Aromancy, you get the Songcraft buffs for speed, you'll have swim fins on, so you can kind of take advantage of that, so you can keep yourself at a distance, hopefully at a height advantage too, to do more damage from height. And so ocean content makes sense for that build, definitely. But then you might want to use a different build completely for non-ocean content, right? And so all that is fine too. But yeah, that's a perfectly good build. Personally, I want to see people use Swiftblade more often, especially for Archery. That's just my personal opinion. I want to see people experiment with that a bit. You get a lot of teleports. Swiftblade is going to get even more teleports, kind of. They get to teleport way more often in the Garden patch. So there's a lot of stuff with Swiftblade that's just really fun. But I love it. I've been playing with Swiftblade for a long time. That's why I'm a little biased. But in general, it's a really good thing. Codebreaker, you'll support each other even financially? Oh, I don't know about that actually, because yeah, every faction fights each other in the Garden. So you're on Tyrannos East. You won't actually, like, you might not actually be fighting Tyrannos West in your Garden server. It'll be like Tyrannos East, Jurgent West, and Win West. And then all of these 3 factions are fighting each other. They're not actually allied to each other, even though 2 of them are West. Something like that. That's at least how we've seen it released in other regions, and probably how we'll see it released in ours as well. Oh, and you use the Ancestral Concussive Arrow for the backdrop. But that's like a really close ranged. I don't know about that one. That's because the whole point of water content is you're not at close range. So obviously you're not using the Concussive Arrow in order to, you know, cause a silence on mages, which is the biggest deal of it, though, right? But it is good to also keep away from melees, so there is that. You want to test out Avatar as well, which is Archery, Shadow. Yes, Avatar is exactly the one that I really want to see people do a little bit. I've seen it quite a bit in arenas, it's nice, but I don't think people know how to take advantage of the defense penetration yet. Stacking Deadeye is tough at the moment, and as we see in later patches, XL is actually making Deadeye work a lot better for archers, where actually you gain the defense penetration only when you're moving, which makes way more sense, because that means archers can be mobile, and are sort of encouraged to be mobile. That'll be amazing, as well as the other changes for Archery. I'm really looking forward to that. I want Archery to be really powerful again, or at least, you know, it's lacking right now. Let's put it that way. But people are also kind of selecting the wrong targets, and it's tough to play archery at the moment. Deadeye has been poo-poo for so long. Guess who it isn't poo-poo for? Me, as a melee. As a melee, using Deadeye actually makes sense. However, I don't want to do it. I miss Mob. I really do like Boneyard too much to be able to get rid of occultism at the moment. But archery makes perfect sense as a melee, because you just pop Deadeye and then you lock somebody down with something, like a trip, and then you just kill him. I would have 6,000 defense penetration, 3,000 from Deadeye and 3,000 from Swiftblade, and then another 3,000 possibly from Puncture. That's 9,000 on top of the 6,000 or 7,000 that I have right now. It's a pretty good amount. It's a funny build. Technically, archery does make sense, especially right now, because of how much melee can abuse it for the movement with double recurve, how powerful Concussive Arrow is, especially against mages. Charged Bolt is an amazing combo with Battle Rage because this causes slow from range. There's a lot of things you could do with this build that actually make sense. There's a lot of, like, I actually used to play Outrider back before Swiftblade existed, and back when archery had Boneyard, I would play Outrider. And Outrider was a really, really fun build. I really enjoyed that. And even if some stuff missed because of accuracy, it was not a big deal. I still enjoyed playing this. That was a long time ago, though. I played it for about 6 to 8 months. How's the state of melee leather at the moment? So these are kind of different questions, because the state of melee I wouldn't combine with the state of leather. But if we do have to, I think it's fine. Keep in mind that the whole point of leather is that you have kind of a better defense against any damage type, right? The damage mitigation is equal on both. But leather itself is mainly specifically for the duration of trip and shackle reduction, right? As well as the range for bow attacks, which is nice, a little bit more evasion. However, it takes 15% more damage from slashing melee attacks, slashing proccing every 50% of the time. It's a whole other complicated system. I think it's fine. I think people do it all the time. You want to run Live Boss? It's aimbot from history. Yeah, let's go. I think, I thought you guys were in one already. I actually saw your group. But I'm up for it. Can you give me an invite? Just do /team invite, GamePro OE. God, I can't spell things, dude. Try that and see if that invites me. Oh crap, it doesn't even let me type it. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm there. Just let me know. We'll figure out some way to get me in. Oh, damn, you already have it there. Chilling. Join its public. Got it. Even before you typed it out. What were we talking about? God, yeah, the state of leather melee. Gosh, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, you know, armor type is a very interesting thing, because you can go cloth and get 20% reduction from all debuffs, period. You can be cloth as a melee and be fine, right? If you're not expecting to take damage, or you're a glass cannon of some sort like that, you just go cloth and you'll be able to do stuff more often because the debuff duration is significantly less, right? That's like a whole conversation in itself. I actually don't want to get into that right now because I can go on for hours about it, and I don't want to, because we're doing Abyssal Ivory 4th. So let me kind of answer some of these other questions really quick. Hey, Invictus. Falk as well, hey. Codebreaker staying crit damage since you've got 80 plus crit rate and 290 plus crit damage. Well, that's good. If it works for you, then yeah, definitely stick with it. You'll have an option later on possibly to be able to change more easily. You'll be able to change your gems out to a different type. But for now, I think it's perfectly fine. Okay, so Falk is asking, you're a beginner in AA? I've heard that it's a pay-to-win game. Is that true? So there's two versions. This is important. I'm going to kind of sidetrack. But I think, yeah, you kind of got your answer. Unchained is meant to be a non-pay-to-win version. The cash shop does not provide direct power stuff. It's just cosmetics, really, and stuff for your house and all those sorts of things. That's the the very quick answer. God, that is... And I'm so happy it's become that way. A lot of people are complaining because now they are going to be charging for, like, access to the garden, which is an expansion for this game. It's really just access to a specific new region that's coming in. But it's not as big of a deal as everybody puts out there. I have reasons for that, mostly because you can still upgrade gear in other ways. Oh god, stop. Arth, get out of here. Don't listen to Arth. Everything he says is a lie when he's trying to make jokes. You can buy large shoes. That's not true, actually. Because the calculation is done from the bottom of your character, so it doesn't matter how tall you are, or whether you're a dwarf or a warborn. You'll still get height advantage because it's based on the bottom of your character. I have to answer it correctly. I can't just let you put out false information, Arth. What is this? But yeah, Unchained is an amazing version of the game. I've enjoyed it so much. It really does feel a lot better. I highly recommend it. The Legacy version, which is a monthly subscription kind of version, is very different. I don't recommend that for new players, honestly, because the buy-to-play version is just so much nicer and less stressful. Okay. We did it. Did it, chat. We answered all the questions, except for Saint Ames, who asked a really complicated question. I'm not poking fun at you or anything. It is a complicated question that requires a complicated answer, and I don't want to get into that right now. Yeah, I don't feel like Unchained isn't as stressful, definitely, because it's like I could take a break from the game right now, and I don't have to worry about like having to pay a monthly subscription anyways just to keep my land in place, right? Like I just have to log in every 5 weeks and pay for taxes. You still have to harvest your pearls? Dude, I actually do pearl harvesting. I stopped lately, but like I do it, because look how much pearls go for. Oh. Wait, wow, I can actually just buy them this way. That's actually pretty good. Somebody's selling the vocation for it. That's awesome. But anyways, they go for like a gold each. That's really good. Yeah, I gotta. I'm so tired of having to like harvest pearls one by one. I stopped doing it, but it's a good market. It's 3 gold on your server. Holy crap. That is ridiculous. Because you need it for so much stuff. I think you need it, like, what is it? It's one of the polishes, or it's one of the things for alchemy. It's a very important one, too. Emulsified oil? No. Oh, it is this one, yeah. And non-stick polish as well. It's actually all of them then, huh? Or 2 of them, at least. Both of these require pearls. And both of them, usually, whenever you make one, you have to actually make 10. So people generally need 200 pearls whenever they are trying to buy some. Which is 200 gold, or 600 gold on your server. Holy crap. Jeez, it's really good. Not enough opponents found. There's no servers. Oh my god. Oh, you guys are all from Kalen, huh? Is this everybody from like the same guild or something, Aimbot? Or Krish? To be fair, I'm usually scared whenever I join something like this, because it's like, oh damn, I'm gonna get kicked right at the end. They're gonna be jerks. I still actually have that fear. I don't like the kicking system. That system in general is very negative, and people abuse it too much. But thankfully people are nice. In actuality, people are nicer than you'd think. But always at the back of my mind, I'm like, oh crap, this might end pretty badly. Alright, well, we're just waiting for this to start once Elise comes back. We got 55 minutes before reset. I might stream for 1 more hour. I don't want to stream for reset. Mostly because I'm not going to be here for reset. I'll do all the stuff later. Or I'll do it like in my spare time, because I'll be doing other stuff. Elise is a West Delphinat hero. Ah, nice. We'll have the cloak then. The rest are pirates. Okay, that's cool. I would love an option to disable vote kick pop-up in Halsey. Yeah, it's an annoying pop-up, isn't it? Every kind of pop-up is really annoying, generally. I want to see them kind of expand. Like, they can't really get rid of vote kick, because we asked for that. People asked for a way to get rid of AFKs, and now we don't even use it to get rid of AFKs. But if they at least... If they expanded vote kick so that, like, the person getting kicked knew who was trying to kick them and why, like, then at least the raid leader in Halsey would, like, see a huge notification that says, you're about to get kicked, blah, 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 and they can say, oh, crap, I probably have lead, and then they fix it, right? There's a much better chance of them actually doing something, because it says on their screen, something's happening, right? At least if they did that one thing, I think that the kicking system would be a lot more positive, and if somebody wants to make a kick war out of it, now they know exactly who kicked them, and kick wars would probably start more often, but they would also end more often, because people don't want to be a part of that kind of thing. Got one Ayanad buff and one Delphinod buff. Nice! That's pretty good. Alright, this will be no problem. I'll do the staff again. I actually kind of like doing the staff with Swiftblade, because it's so quick to get from place to place. Keeping in mind, since I'm going to be streaming this, A, don't screw up. But not really, because nobody really cares. And B, I will lag slightly. So I don't think it's going to make too big of a difference. Oh crap, loot pot? I don't have a loot pot. Did you guys want me to loot pot? I don't have anything. Crap. I mean, I can loot pot, I don't really care. Oh, I can leave and go back in. I forgot about that. Yeah, like I would just use a 60% potion if anything. But everybody has to loot pot for it to be really useful. Because now we know how loot pot stuff works, because I put that out on Reddit after a whole bunch of research that Art was also a part of. Alright, we'll just kill things. Screw it. Buy my moonlight juice. Are you selling moonlight juice? I'm good. I used to craft my own, because it was always easier to craft it. Sorry for ruining your market by saying that. Hey, somebody just got Shadow Star. Wait, 2 people! What? Aimbot, how did you not have the Shadow Star already? I'm so surprised. It's been how long? We've had Unchained for such a long time. Let's see. It's true that, yeah, going into Garden at low gear score would be tough. But I think that you'll still see daily raids in the Garden. And so hopefully they'll be carried by the people who are higher gear score, and they can still get access to some of the stuff from there. That's my hope, at least. You never do it, you keep deleting it? Oh, jeez. Okay, never mind then. Why? Why don't you just get it done? It's not... Oh, maybe it is hard. Because I did the older version from the old library, and that wasn't too bad. Wait, why am I dying? Ah! I just realized what was going on with the lightning. Everything's fine now. It's not a big deal. I'm being too lenient. I need to actually pay attention to this, especially for the last boss, so I won't be able to read chat for that. Which I know all of you are fine with. I just have to... I have to stop myself from reading chat, you know, because I do enjoy the interaction. People will one-shot you. I guess that's true because of PvP, but there is also peace times in the garden too. What is this chat? Let me turn off chat bubbles because I don't know what's happening, but there is talk that I feel like shouldn't be on the screen. Turn off chat bubbles. All right, sorry, paying attention again. I swear. Halen is ERP server, sorry. Okay. That's fine. Chat bubbles off. I don't know what's happening. I'm scared though. It's not a big deal. Am I doing staff? I'll do staff, yeah. Okay, we're chilling. Wait, let me actually pop this potion as well. This one. I'm missing some people. And then Goblet of Honor for... melee attack just doesn't scale that well in PvE as much as it should. I'm just going to try to keep myself more alive. I mean, it scales nicely, you still do more damage, but I don't think it's worth it in PvE as much. Oh, I see. MP Spirit back. Right, no problem. Mostly high gear score going for wartime. Yeah, I'm assuming during wartime it'll be tough to do content in Garden as a lower gear score player, for sure. But it also depends on what servers are fighting each other, right? So, we'll see how they do it. I don't know whether it's going to be a completely random roll for which servers fight, or if it's actually based on faction activity. That would be interesting, too. Does that mean that pirates are just going to be fighting other pirates from each server all the time? It could be, right, if pirates are just all at one activity level or something. I do wonder if the Garden update also does go and change up the activity system to what Korea has at the moment. Korea essentially had the same problems we did, and people were abusing it like crazy, so they did go and change it quite a bit. It's much harder to gain activity, and it's kind of valued over a much longer period of time. And instead of it being some kind of 1 through 5 symbols, instead it is an actual numerical value that people can actually use. So, it's much nicer, but I'm curious if we'll get it with the Garden update. That would be interesting. Oh crap, wait, I forgot the staff. Crap! I wasn't thinking! God damn it. YOLO? We can YOLO. Alright, weapons off reset. Not a big deal. Just do it again. Alright, I'm gonna start paying attention now. So, no chat. I'm just gonna get this really quick. We'll get our extra stats from dying, which is not bad. Alright. Now we got the buff at least. News consolidation. Oh, is MP gonna do it? Alright, that's cool. Cool, that means I can actually pay attention to chat. No, I shouldn't. What am I saying? I'm not gonna lure myself into a false sense of security. I have to actually pay attention to this fight. Yay, we got 10 minutes of the News consolidation. I think that's actually worth it. It'll get this fight done a little bit faster. Better than any kind of potion or buff would otherwise give. Alright. Turn optimization mode. Oh my god, look at those frames come right back. So much nicer. We're good. Alright, wait until aimbot gets aggro. Wait for 95%. Does 2% damage just from the concussor, that's pretty good. And that's a good one for me. Not like I'm gonna steal aggro. Wait, staff is down. Oh, you got it. here. Aimbot's on the other side. We're good. Wait, what? Did he just turn around for a second? That's weird. So he just finished a strike and put me in a different location that I did not want to be in. Holy crap. There we go. Chilling. I'm still looking for the books to kill. They spawn. Mostly because I can have to break the shields on them. Oh my god, in low quality you don't even see the effects for the mana regeneration thing. No, don't die. Okay, we're good. Not enough mana. Where's aimbot? Over there. So I'm in a good position. There's a book that spawned. There's a few books that spawned. Okay, we're good. I think we just killed the Guardian now. There we go. Not too bad. Anybody, you got an armor smithing scroll. Ah, look at you. You don't even have to roll for that. It's on rotate winner though. I didn't even know. I thought you had to roll for that. It's not per person, right? The more you know. Why do people keep skipping this? It's an RNG drop? I don't know. Wait, maybe we did roll for it then, and I just didn't notice. It goes to somebody who's in a particular raid position. Oh, so it's just rotate winner, huh? You can get it without rolling. Okay. Ready up. Okay, done. Paying attention.
Unit ready.
Thanks for following Grape Catsby. It's an awesome name. Alright. If I miss something in chat, it's no big deal. You need Ayanad weapons? Alright, well then good. You have the weapon scroll. Perfect. I don't really care. It's not really a big deal to me. Why don't people do it as much? I think mostly because it's still much easier to do with people who have the gear in order to help kill the boss very quickly. But more so, it's just better to do it with people who know the mechanics. If you know the mechanics... I mean, we used to, like, I don't know, the earliest we did this boss was probably 9k gear score. It wasn't too bad. It just takes a little longer to kill it. But that's mostly why people don't do it. It's just because the mechanics for it, you have to learn, and it's tough to find a group of people who know the mechanics, so otherwise everybody just dies really quick. I can explain the mechanics if you guys want, during the actual fight itself. I mean, I commentate on most of the stuff that I do anyway, so it shouldn't be too hard. You need the 4th boss for your library gear? Yes, absolutely, because you need, what, 30 of these shards just to get a scroll with, like, a 20% chance to work? Does anybody know the chance to upgrade library gear using the scroll? Is it just 100% or 50 or anything? I'm sure somebody in chat knows the answer to that. Starts at 30. Oh my god. That's terrifying. That's terrifying considering how many of those shards you need just for a scroll. Glad I'm not doing that. Oh my god. I mean, I kind of wanted to do library gear at the start because it's really cool for glass cannon builds. A full 7/7 build. Normally people do at least 5 generally, but for a melee at least. But anyways, I'm just glad I didn't go that route. That is terrifying. Yeah, you've got 5 pieces to do. Yep, I get it. Yeah, it's terrifying. I feel very bad for you, aimbot. And I'm so glad I don't have to deal with that. So glad. Now that said, I still want to play with the library pieces and the library gear. So I'm trying to collect all of them, not actively really, but if I accidentally get one that I need, awesome, and just store it. I don't even know what pieces I need, to be honest, so maybe I'm not really paying that much attention. Optimization mode is just so awful. Ugh, I hate it. I'm gonna switch back out of optimization mode. I can't handle it. Look at that, I can barely see what's happening. So all the effects are just gone. Oh, a sash. Actually, I'm sure that's free roll, right? Let's see. Declined. Rolled a 3. Let's just give it to that person. I'm not super picky about this. I'm getting 1 extra Una, or Arcane. Alright, it's running off optimization, but I can't do it. Random question from chat that I'm picking out. Do you think they'll ever merge Unchained servers? Yeah, at some point, they probably will. They'll probably do transfers first, before any kind of merging ever happens. But, yeah, it's possible.
Statue, awaken from your slumber!
Oh god, the lag plus streaming. Or the lag from streaming is just... Oh, nice, actually just flew really high into the air. Brilliant. Now's a good time to use Cody points if you have any actual, like, game-related questions or something. At least then I can see, like, I have an actual log of people that use that, and then I can just go through the log later once I'm free. Pirates get 2 Ayanad instead of an Ayanad and a Del? Yeah, exactly. It is weird. There's Tiger Strike to hopefully avoid him from using the cutscene. Please don't cutscene. No, don't cutscene! Oh my god, did it. NP's doing that. We have an NP on our server too. Apparently there's an NP on Kalen Arth. In addition to the NP on Win. What if it's the same person? Holy crap. Alright, this side. We bounce from that side. Somebody's activating it. We have a staff. I'm paying attention. Everything is fine. Everything is good. 5-piece defense penetration Death Wish is nuts. It is. I mean, a 7-piece defense penetration Death Wish. I guess you wouldn't go 7-piece if you're already defense penetration. Because what's the point? But a 7-piece for a crit build? Oof. Every 20 seconds someone will die. Or in the opener someone just dies and evaporates. Potentially. I guess that's mostly what it is, huh? Crit builds would use a 7-piece defense penetration, make use 5. Alright. Help. Why am I slower? Did they not use Battle Beam? It's okay. Not a big deal. Which way? I was supposed to talk about mechanics, but you guys kind of see what's going on. Staying by this guy's leg in a very, very close circle so that you don't get in front of him to just die. If somebody has a staff, they just go walk around and put the staff down to close rifts, which spawn mobs otherwise. That's pretty much it. It's not too bad, as long as you've got a group that's done it a few times. Otherwise, there's a little bit of a learn time, so, you know, if you're dying a lot in this dungeon on this boss, don't get too stressed out about it, because once you actually get it, you'll make up for the loss of repair earlier. I do a much better job commentating on how this works, but I am just not right now. I do want to pay attention to get this done properly. clean my mana pool. It's true though. Okay, which way is it going? That way? Bottom tight. I'm nice so slow too. Oh, I need to use... I should have used Swiftblade Instinct beforehand to get the extra movement speed. I did not do. Stay away from the bubbles in the ground, or whatever. There's no way that I'm contributing as much DPS as everybody else. Aimbot with your eternal... Oh wait, did it switch? It switched aggro. Doesn't matter. Everything's fine. Switch aggro last second. Alright, we chilling? One more time. Yeah, part of the reason that I'm not going to the Fresh Start servers because I don't want to have to do a another land rush too. If they do go and end up merging servers, naturally I will have to do a land rush again. Not a fan of that, but it's okay. If that does ever happen, it'll be far in the future. People complaining about dailies about Haram, so I told them to run Abyssal. Yeah, Abyssal, there's tons of PvE content that people can do to get quite a bit of wealth. Sea of Drowned Love is a good one for the chilled sea foam, and you run it like super fast with the gear that people have. You can run all 3 times like in 5 minutes if you're really on top of it. You know, there's the actual dungeons you could do, you just port to and do yourself, and try to get some Sunglow Luna Gems at the end if you're doing graders. Though that does take quite a bit longer time, so I don't tend to do those myself. What other... Oh, that's exactly what I was just asking. What other solo normal dungeon gold farming do you recommend apart from Howling? Oh, at 4.2k gear score, that's a tough question. Probably all of Howling Abyss instead of just the first boss, and the reason for that is because in the Garden Patch people are going to be requesting Archery quite a bit, and the demand will possibly skyrocket. For that reason, getting as much Archery as you can, even just from the rest of that dungeon, is very likely worth it. Especially for how much... I mean, prices are already going up for Archery, so keep that in mind. Apart from that, at 4.2k gear score, normal gold. Yeah, I don't know. 4.2k gear score. Low gear score. What did we do? Art. I don't know if Art's still around or not. What did we do at low gear score? Gosh, I can't remember. Yeah, what did we do? That's the question, Art. What did we do? No, what did we do at low gear score for Ani? I don't even remember anymore. Yeah, what did we do? I actually don't remember. We ran graders together as a group because one of us would get a Sunglow. I know that. Graders aren't that hard, but I don't know if we necessarily did it at 4k gear score. We might have. 4k gear score is easy, it's just no gems, so it's not that terrible in stats for PvE. Pick it up. Pick it up. Oh, rip. Wait, what happened? Uh-oh. Did something happen? Was holding the second staff. Oh. Oh yeah, if you, I don't know what you mean. It's okay, don't worry about it. I know yesterday when we did this dungeon, all 3 staffs I just gave to random people in Marianople each time after we were finished. Just drop it, somebody takes it, and then I run right back and do the second run. I thought it was pretty funny. Actually, for the 3rd run, after we got out of there, all the staffs were gone. So I guess people didn't really care, which is unfortunate. We only did graders like BC, Hadir, not really normals. Yeah, fair enough. That might have been what we did. I don't remember at all. Disciple Awakening Scroll, wow. Good luck. To this person. Sarah Sewell. it didn't go off. Okay, didn't explode. Anyways, yeah, Art's got probably some tips there for you. Nothing's working on my screen. Hooray! It's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, you'd have to probably join a guild and go with them, I think. There's so many slots in Sea of Drowned Love that usually people go with, like, just 6 people. The minimum required anyways. So if you just find some friends and go with them, there's no problem doing it at 10 or anything like that. Obviously, there's a lower chance of actually getting the thing that's worth gold if there's 10 people in it. But, I mean, it's still a good suggestion. Oh yeah, Serp too, Serpentis. You could probably get a group for that. Serpentis is really good for Evan stoning stuff. Doesn't cost you to just take a look every so often. Yep, exactly. You can just look at the raid finder or group finder in the instance thing. Wait, do I have all the sunglows? I've noticed I got 3. Oh man, I don't feel bad, and I can't even trade in here, so there's nothing I can do about it. I got 3 as well. MP got 1. RNG hates you because you went pirate all sneak. Alright, they're just talking about server stuff. Alright. Have a good one, Saint Ames. Appreciate you stopping by, chilling. See you around. Alright, I'm going to be paying attention to this again. Just because I need to pay attention to the last boss for this. Yeah, we're getting me rich, yeah. 3 sunglows richer. Ooh. Great, last time we played the game was in Alpha Beta. Is there anything here now for a super casual player? Any casual community in game? Would it be pretty hopeless unless you sink a bunch of time every day? No, nothing's hopeless. Honestly, the game is really good for casual players just the same. There's tons and tons of things you can just work on over time. If you really want to get into PvP and stuff, there's still classes you can play that you don't necessarily need gear for just to help out your team. So there's still a lot you could do in that sense. And yeah, I mean, if you just find a guild that is, you know, active enough and just chilling and playing a video game and not stressing too much, you'll be fine. And you'll enjoy the game, and you'll probably still do trade runs with them, and you know, build housing together next to each other or something, and try to buy out land plots. And there's plenty of stuff to do and plenty of goals to accomplish that any kind of super casual player can just enjoy. Alright, Aimbot is getting aggro. Wait a little longer, because last time aggro was lost right at the end. But it shouldn't be for me. I shouldn't be taking the aggro anyways. Okay, it's rotating clockwise. Still do damage like this. Abilities pretty easily. We'll use Sunder Earth just to make sure people don't take as much damage. I don't think anybody's actually using songs. It's not a big deal, really. Alright, Sunder Earth again. It should still hit him, even though it also hits us. And then second phase for the rotating cannon in Azuna. Miss Meteoring Halsey. Yeah, Candlegate was a big thing. Elise is dead. Okay. She'll survive, should be okay. This just means that I have to use Cinder Earth. And P is dead as well. Ooh, that actually. I was paying attention. I was paying enough attention to actually succeed at staying alive at least. No! Oh my god. Just got flung out like crazy. Jeez. That could kill me. On the last one. I don't think I can solo this at very low health. So, rip. It's okay though. I just realized that ability is literally like the one from Heroes art. The mend that God, I don't remember the characters or anything, never mind. It just reminds me of an ability from Heroes of the Storm. The delayed mend. Delayed mend is like that dragon healer. It's like the exact same thing. Is it even delayed mend? Is that actually what it does? Yeah, Alex Straza, that's right. It reminds me so much of that. Within 10 meters every 3 seconds over 1 minute. No, that's not it. Healing Circle Life. Or is it just regular mend? Oh, wait. I don't think that was actually mend. What is that? Maybe that's a shield or something? I'm not paying attention. Screw it. I don't care anymore. Next conversation. I miss Candlegate. I agree. We already talked about that, but that's fine. Alrighty. And start. Cinder Earth. Rotating cannon. Should be counterclockwise. Okay, staying here. Cinder Earth. You caught shaken or distressed, right? So I can't do any combos with slow damage, which would be crazy because the that means endless arrows would be crazy with the additional damage from slow. Yeah, there's no way to shake him. Okay, we need to stay here. Wait for him to come back, or not. That's cool. I guess we're this is fine. Needs 1 stack, but it's not a big deal. Cinder Earth. Dodge the last concealer. And she's back. That could be a problem. It was definitely a problem for a tank. Okay. Not too bad. As long as... Okay, somebody else died. I mean, it's just our healer, right? As long as nobody takes any damage, we'll be fine. Try to do some AoE so I can grab these books as well. Not too much. Trying to be optimistic at a really tough time. I didn't even get that last tome's shield off. Damn it. Okay. Everything's fine. This is fine. Is there anything else that I can do? Oh, actually, yes, there is. Absolutely, there's stuff I could do. I could use Dagger and Main Hand in order to do damage faster. And if I switch from Triple Slash to Blade Flurry, that would actually be really, really good. So instead, I'll only be maximizing damage with it with the other Swift Blade abilities, which I think is still fine. Oh wait, I need to be on that side. Alright, no problem. We got this. Crap, buffs are about to go away. Hold on. I'll just pop the health one at least. Alrighty, much faster now with the dagger in main hand, so I have to do a whole lot of stuff with Swiftblade abilities to make up for that, but overall damage, DPS, and PvE should be much, much higher. Under Earth. MP is out getting all the rift stones, that's good. Books directly underneath us. We get us under Earth off in just a second here. Yep, it's perfect timing for Exploding Orb. Alright, Dagger main hand here is really good. And the damage values too. Ooh, Dagger main hand is really good, especially with the defense penetration. Holy crap. If I do this, now I have full defense penetration, or I should. Wait, I don't. I think I missed Blink. Or, you know, okay. Not a big deal. I missed Blink at point blank range. How is that even possible? Okay. Cinder Earth. Yeah, full defense penetration is actually really good on this boss. I just have to try to keep it up. Like that. Oh, again, wow. Again, I wasn't able to give him an instinct stack. It's so strange. Not a big deal. Oh my god, he still did his last move. Nice. Alright, was that our third run? Wait, Pog weapon? Oh, you got a weaponsmithing scroll. Nice. Congrats. Wait, did it just push that again? Hold on. Let me try something. Hold on. Is this just gonna refresh it? Oh, you guys don't see what just happened. That's interesting. Huh. Okay. Nothing. Sorry, there's a stream thing that I see in my end that you guys don't, which is very strange. Yeah, thanks for the runs, Krish. Appreciate it. Krish/Aimbot. Kayla. I think that's going to be it for today, then. I've pretty much run up against my timer. I want to go and do some other things, and then get into reset later on. Trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to do specifically. There's a lot of mechanics that I wanted to talk about that we kind of got into at the very start of the stream. But in general, if anybody has any further questions at all about the game or whatever, please feel free to ask those questions. To the community in general. If you want to go to the Archery research and development community, you want to bother me on Discord or bother anybody else in Discord, please do it. Ask questions about the game, because it is a very complicated game with an endless amount of mechanics that not even everybody knows right now. You're not mad, or I'm not mad, says everything in this game is about gear score. You want to go two-handed, but you lose like 1k gear score. Well, gear score doesn't necessarily, remember, gear score is not a stat score. People can pad their gear score with things that don't really give them very much stats. And the gear score itself is like a really fake number, considering how many things give more gear score or less gear score than they really should compared to the stats they give. For example, an offhand weapon gives you very, very little value and has such an immense amount of gear score versus how much your costume gives you, which is an insane amount of stats at its highest tier, but doesn't give you at all any gear score compared to an offhand weapon. So don't look at gear score too much. Look at the actual stuff that you're doing and the actual how survivable are you, how much damage are you doing, etc., etc. But don't look at gear score, because it's a really, really fake stat that just doesn't make any sense in reality. And if people if people yelled about gear score and how terrible the actual mechanic is and how terrible it's actually designed, as much as they yelled about the lag issues and all sorts of other things, maybe we would actually have a better system like a stats score instead by now. But people don't really understand. You know, they're okay with gear score as it is. People are just, for some reason, okay with this list of top 100, which does not need to exist at all in this game. It creates unnecessary competition that people just stress over. But unfortunately it exists, so don't worry too much about it. Don't let it stress you out, is the most I can say. Grape, thanks for the answers. You're going to purchase the game tonight, get started. Awesome. And if you have any other further questions, feel free to bother me in Discord in a PM. You can go to the Discord down below and just join up and ask questions to the public, and people are very likely to answer. But don't be afraid to ask questions at all. The moment you have a question about the game, just ask it somewhere. Somebody will hopefully answer eventually at some point. People are generally nice. There's the official Discord as well that you can go to, and there are new player help channels in there. I do sit around those channels occasionally and just help people out, and so do other people as well. People are generally nice in those channels. Please be open to answering questions. I'm sorry, to asking questions, because that's just the best way to learn stuff. And read everything. God, there's so much stuff in this game. It's endless. Guys, I appreciate all of you guys hanging out. The follows and the subs as well. I think I'm going to try to find some time to stream tomorrow. Again, it's like completely up in the air whenever I stream, so if you like the content, you want to chill more, please feel free to follow the channel. You'll know whenever I go live. Invictus just posted all of the different links to the social media where I also post when I go live, so you can go hang out on those as well. Alright, I'm done. I'm getting out of here. I will see you all later. Take care, everybody. Good day.